Okay, I told you that we were finished with Unit 6, but I want to do an extra lesson in Unit 6. A lot of times it comes up on the testing, and so this is something that wasn't covered there, but I wanted to cover it. So a lot of times they will give a number line, such as this. Okay, here I just have numbers from 0 to 1. And I just got my papers out of order. Okay, if we go with 0 to 1, this could be one of anything, a measurement. It could be your 1 foot, and you're measuring with feet. So you 1 feet, 2 feet. We really haven't been into measurements, but anyway, you could take between, if you're measuring something, and it would not be one of a whole thing. Like I might measure things with a pencil, and I want to measure this paper with a pencil. It is more than 1 pencil long. It's almost 2 pencils long. Okay, so sometimes though I will need, it might be a pencil and a half long, so I would have to find a place on my pencil that would be half. Like I would have to break it into 2 parts, so that would be half of the pencil. So it is 1 whole pencil and a half of a pencil. So if we're putting on a line like this, and this, pretend that this is some object here, and we measure something, if it's not the whole measurement here, I could take this and I could divide it. Now, we talked about dividing it in half. So dividing in half would mean right here. So this would be half. This would be 0. This would be 1. This would be just half. And how many parts do I have? This is a part 1, 2. I have 2 parts, and I divided it into 1. This is just one of the 2 parts. Then I get here, and it's both parts, so it's 1 whole. Okay, I could also take this, and I could divide it here and here. So what have I divided it into? Well, let's count the parts. Here's a part 1, here's a part 2, and here's a part 3, and here's a part 4. I've divided it in 4 parts. Now, I'm not looking where I drew my lines. I'm looking at the parts of the line. 1, 2, 3, 4. I could cut those and have 4 pieces. Okay, so each one of these then would be a fourth of the line. That's 1/4. Here, if I started here and I go to here, I have 1/4. If I go to here, I have 2/4. If I go to here, I have 3/4. If I go here, I have 4/4, or the whole. Okay, I just want you to be able to look at the line and see how many parts they divided it into. They divided it into 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I were to say that this line was divided into thirds, into 3 parts, would that be true or would that be false? It would be false, because I divided it into 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. Okay, now, here it is. I'm going from 0 to 2. Okay, if I divide from 0 to 1, I divided that one in half. 1 part, 2 parts, 2 parts. I didn't get that exactly in half as usual. And then if I try to divide this in half, there's 1 part, 2 parts, okay? So from 0 to 1, like that would be 1 pencil, okay? Say I had a pencil that was this long. That would be 1 pencil. If what I was measuring was only this long, it would be a half of a pencil. But if what I was measuring was this long plus this, that would be, well, this would be 1. This would be 1 1/2. Oops, 1 and a half. And then if I measured it and I had 2 holes, it would be 2 pencils long. Okay? So look and see if they're asking you, if they got the right fraction, look and see how many parts they divided it into. The number on the bottom tells you how many parts it's divided into. 1, 2, and from 1 to 2, it's divided into 1, 2. So you're talking about how many parts it's divided into between two numbers. 0 and 1, there's 2 parts. Between 1 and 2, there are 2 parts. Okay? You could also divide it into, again, divided it a little bit more. So what I'm talking about when I want to know how many parts it's been divided into, I look between the 2 numbers, the 0 and the 1. How many parts did I divide it into between the 0 and the 1? 1, 2, 3, 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this would be 1/4. This would be 2/4 because 1, 2, 3/4 and 1, or 4/4 or 1. Okay, so I divided this into fourths. Okay, again, this is just something extra that I wanted to show you, something that sometimes will be on the test. One other thing, if you look at this, look where a half is. Here's a half on both lines. Which is bigger, a half or a fourth? Well, you can tell that the half is bigger, isn't it? Okay. If I asked you which is bigger, a half or 3/4? Well, here is 3/4, clear over here. Here is a half. Which is bigger? The 3/4. Okay. These are some things that I just wanted to go over for you and for when you do the iReady test. Don't worry though if you don't quite get it. I just wanted to go over it quickly. Okay, the next one will be on Unit 7.